You're listening to ABA One-on-One Podcast.
Hi guys, CJ here. We currently have a few positions available for relationship managers. If you would like the opportunity to work in sports marketing, this could be it. The ABA is the largest pro league in the world and partnered with the AAU, representing over 700,000 athletes around the world. Building business relationships and helping bring new audiences to every business we're working with is the goal. We're not limited to one state or region. Businesses partnering with sports is always a win-win for the community. Sound interesting? Then drop us an email and get more information at jobs@aba1on1.club, and we'll get back to you right away.
Sassy B Worldwide Productions. With over 25 years of entertainment experience, we have done it all. Celebrity appearances, red carpet events, image consultation, and branding design. Our clients range from American football stars to Hollywood celebrities and everyone in between. Want to make a splash in the entertainment industry? Then it's time to get sassy. SassyBWorldwide.com.
Hey guys, it's time for a new episode of ABA One-on-One.
Open up, yeah. Open up now. Open up. Open up, yeah. Open up. Open up now. I give a damn dog, give him a bone. Give a damn dog a bone. I give a damn dog, give him a bone. Give a damn dog a bone. I give him a bone. Damn dog, give him a bone. Give a damn dog a bone.
Hey guys, welcome back to another ABA One-on-One. It's CJ here with Rick, and special guest today on the show is Chucky Brown, NBA legend. And yeah, we're going to be doing what we normally do, and let's talk basketball. Chucky, welcome to ABA One-on-One. Man, let's talk.
All right. Well, thank you for having me, man. Let's do it.
Rick, I'll let you kick it in, brother.
All right. Well, Chucky, knowing your background, I've known you for a long time. I knew of you before you knew me, but I'm
right.
I knew you from way back, and I want to start off by just asking you a little bit about Jimmy V.
Okay.
You played at North Carolina State, and what it was like playing for him. I know you spoke very highly of him. I read your intro very highly, as most of the players did, I think.
Right. Yeah. Well, Coach V, man, like I said, I didn't know much about NC State when I first moved to North Carolina. But my high school coach he used to work Valvano's camp every summer. So I came up in the summer. I moved to North Carolina in the summer, and this was the first camp that he brought me to. And when I got introduced to Coach V, I'm just moving down from New York City, and we talking, and I find out V was from Queens, or Long Island, somewhere out there. Queens, Long Island, that area, but he's from New York. So I think that right there instantly gravitated me towards him. And then I came up after the camp. I came up again, like for games and stuff. He offered me tickets to the games, so I'd come up to games with my coach and have friends. And then he introduced me to Lorenzo Charles. So Lorenzo Charles was from Brooklyn, so another New York thing. So I kind of was gravitating towards that. Not really looking at the school or anything like that. Just, I just gravitated. I'm coming from New York City, so I wanted to be around, fellow New Yorkers. And just the way that, V treated me, before coming to school here, and it was the same treatment once I signed. The treatment got even better. There were nights when I was in school where, if I was hungry or something, the cafeteria was closed, I would jump in the car and drive over to V's house, and we would get something to eat, and he never treated me funny. He was always good to me, and he always was honest with me. And that's what you want. You don't want, as a player, as a kid, kids know when you're full of BS. They know.
Yeah.
And they tend to not want to deal with when you candy coat stuff. So, I wanted V to tell me everything like it was, and that's what he did. And that's why I loved him so much. And even after when I got done playing at NC State, we kept in contact, of course, until he passed away in like '93. I remember, we were in the playoffs, so I was playing with New Jersey, and I remember he died, and we stayed in touch, up until he passed. I see his wife from time to time. I talk to his daughters from time to time. So, it was just a great relationship. My relationship with Alabama was a great one.
Yeah, the ACC in those years, because I was in North Carolina too. The ACC in those years was the most dominant conference without question in the country. With the team in that league, with Carolina and State, and, people don't realize the gravity of just what the ACC, what it meant to the country that year. But you were an instrumental part at State and all the rivalries. I mean, it was like Tobacco Road. It was nothing like it.
Right. Yeah, I think that the conference, when it was 8 teams, it was a great conference. I think if there was going to be, any expansion, and I'm just a person looking at I'm not one of the so-called brainiacs and nothing like that. But I think that if the ACC was going to expand, they probably only needed to add 2 teams and not add as many as they did, because you look at, Notre Dame is 1 foot in, 1 foot out. They got football, halfway in, and everybody else is all the way in. But because of the contract with the television, they don't want to go all the way in.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you probably, you got to keep Maryland, because Maryland is a founding member of the ACC. I think you have to keep Maryland, and you maybe add Virginia Tech. I like that addition to them, and maybe another rival. Maybe you could add West Virginia. That'd be a good rival. School. But, like Boston College. You don't need Boston College. Nah, you don't need them. They're Big East.
I'm just saying though. Whoever heard of the ACC tournament being in Syracuse?
Exactly. So Boston College and Syracuse. You could take them out of the mix. Louisville doesn't need to be in there either. So you bring South Carolina back in, and you bring Maryland and maybe West Virginia, and that's it. And I think that would make for a really good, strong conference.
Chucky, you old school.
Yeah,
I love you, man. That's why I love you. That's why I love you, man. But let's talk a little bit about something that's really interesting. When you got drafted by the Cavaliers in the second round in '89, who was on that team, Chucky?
We had Ron Harper, Mark Price, Brad Daugherty, Hot Rod Williams, Tree Rollins, Paul McKeskey. Who else on the team? Winston Bennett, Randolph Keys. Who else was on that team? John Morton, myself, Larry Nance. How could I forget about Larry? Larry's like one of my favorite people all time. So, but yeah, we had a really good. Larry's a great guy. He's a better person than he is a player. So that's that's big.
Big Paul McKeskey.
Yeah, Big Mo.
Yeah,
we had him on the show, Chucky.
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah, Big
Paul. Him and Greg Kite.
Greg Kite. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Greg Kite. Funny story that you mentioned Greg Kite. But when I was in high school, my high school coach knew Greg Kite, so I wore a size 17 shoe. And he had Greg Kite send me some shoes. So it's funny, and when I played against Greg Kite, I reminded him of that, and he remembered it. I was like, man, you remember you used to send me some shoes? You sent me some shoes a couple times in high school. And he said, yeah, I remember that. So Greg Kite, Greg Kite is another great guy.
Yeah.
Small world, bro.
Great.
Small world.
Yes, it is.
But you played with a lot of teams, but, I think I was reading your resume. I knew it, but I was reading it again. It was so impressive. I mean, some of those teams. Talk a little bit about the championship year with the Rockets.
Oh yeah, that was a great year. It was a really fun year for me, especially, I came from the CBA. I got called up that year. So, when I got there, the Rockets, when I got there I remember coming that first 10 day, and I remember Rudy calling me in the office, and Rudy told me, he said, well, this first 10 day, we're not going to play you a lot. So, and then on the second 10 day, we're going to see what you got. So, I had been in the league already for 4 years, and, I wasn't nervous or anything. I was kind of eager to get out there, but, I got lucky where the first night we got there, first night I got there, we played Utah. We blew them out. So I got to get in the game for like the last 3 or 4 minutes and get acclimated to the calls and playing with some of the guys. And then the next night we flew to Phoenix, and we blew them out too. So then I got to play then. And this was all on my first 10 day. And then the next night we flew up to Portland and we got blown out. So I got to get in again. So I got to get kind of acclimated and get a little comfortable with the guys and the calls. And I had already known some of those guys anyway from the past. But I got to get, acclimated with the team and stuff like that. So then the next 10 day, he started me a couple of games, and I played really well. And as the season went on, I just found it was just a great fit, but a lot of people don't know, like, when my second 10 day was up, so they can't sign you for 3 10 days. They have to sign you for the rest of the year. So I didn't know whether they were going to sign me back or not. So I took care of what I had to do, and I played well. So I was happy with that. So when they asked me, I think somebody from the organization asked me, if you were going back, where would you fly back to? Would you fly home, or would you go back to Yakima? So I told them I wanted to go back to Yakima. So next thing you know, I get a phone call. Bob Winehour was the general manager at the time, and he was like, we're going to sign you for the rest of the year, so come on over. So I went over, and I went, and because I thought I was going back to Yakima, and I was perfectly happy because I did my part. So I went signed for the rest of the year. So then I had to, they had me staying in a hotel at the time, so I had to find me an apartment. So I just found an apartment right up the street in the area close to where we were going to practice and play at. Because I never like to live far away from where we're going to be doing our stuff. And I got me a little apartment, and we went on and had a great year. We had some injuries that year though. We had Dream got hurt. Dream had like a blood clot, so he missed a lot of games. Vernon got hurt, and he missed a lot of games. So that's how we ended up finishing like 6th. I think it was 6th. We finished 6th in the West. But then, and they made the trade for Clyde, which was a big trade because Otis Thorpe was there, and they wanted to make some moves, so they made that move, which was a great move. And just my chemistry with Clyde it was so awesome. We had a play called Step Up, and it was just Clyde and I running the pick and roll, and I got a dunk off the play almost every time, a dunk or a layup, simply because people figured, which one we're going to guard. We're going to guard Clyde Drexler, we're going to guard this guy coming off the pick and roll. So they would guard Clyde. so Clyde would always pass it to me, and I would get a dunk or a layup, And so when I see Clyde to this day, we always yell out, step up, because we knew that was our play. But the season went on. We got in the first round against Utah, and we lost game 1 at the end of the game. We missed a shot at the end of the game and lost game 1, but ended up winning that series 3-2. That was when the series was best 3 out of 5. But a funny story in that series, I remember, we were down 1, and I was going to the free throw line. It was probably about 30 seconds left in the game, so I got fouled, and I'm going to the line. So I'm going to the line thinking, all right, if I make these free throws, I might get re-signed. That was on my mind. I might get re-signed, So as I'm going to the line, I'm walking to the line, Clyde walks up to me and like, hey, man, look, if you miss these free throws, we lose the game. so I kind of looked at him. Like, oh, man, and like I felt instant pressure, right? Wow. So then Kenny, Kenny must have saw a look on my face. Kenny Smith came up to me and said,
Kenny
"Yo,
Smith,
man."
right?
Yeah. Kenny Smith came up to me during the game, like right after Clyde said what he said. I must have had a look on my face, like what is he talking about? So Kenny came up to me and said, "Yo, man, you got this. Knock them down." So then I was like, "Okay." So then I went and knocked them down. Then we ended up going to Phoenix to play the Suns. And they jumped right on us the first 2 games. They blew us out, man. They jumped on us, blew us out. So then we win game 3 back in Houston. So then they win game 4, and then we go up to Phoenix for game 5, and Clyde is sick. So when Clyde is sick, he got to get the IV and all that. He got a fever, and he's doing bad. So I'm thinking the whole time, like, somebody need to step up. Why not me? So I end up having my best playoff game. We win the game. We win game 5, but nobody expected us to win game 5. And so we bring them back to Houston for game 6, which we knew they didn't want to come back to Houston. So we end up blowing them out in game 6. So now we go back. Yeah, we go back to Phoenix, game 7. And, I remember, at halftime, we're down 10 points. So I remember Dream saying, "Hey, we got them right where we want them. We down 10." And Dream is saying, "We got it right where we want them." So I'll say, "Okay, big fella say we got them where we want them. We got them where we want them then." So we playing the game, and, people see that when Mario blew the kiss of death to the Suns bench, people see that. But what people don't know is that Joe Klein was blowing the kiss of death to us, the whole game, because they was leading most of the game. They were leading most of the game. So Joe Klein was doing that kiss of death to us. And that's why when Mario hit the shot, Mario blew the kiss of death to them. So so we win that game. Then we go to play San Antonio, and we hadn't beat them all year. We hadn't beat San Antonio. We played them 4 times, and they beat us all 4 times. All 4 close games though. So we jump on them, win the first 2 in San Antonio. They come to Houston, win the next 2. So we go to game 5 in San Antonio. We like, look, we got to win. We can't, come back here for a game 7. So we win that game. We win that game 5. Then we go back to Houston, and we win game 6. We take them out. Then we get ready to go to the finals and play Orlando. And Orlando jumped on us. They jumped on us and got off to. They was up like 20 or something like that. But I think Kenny saved us. Clyde and Dream were always there. We just needed one more guy to step up. We need that third guy. And that particular game 1, that was Kenny's time. And then game 2 was Sam. Sam stepped up for us. So
Sam Cassell.
Sam Cassell. So we ended up going. We went up 2-0. Then we went back to Houston, and we won game 4. I mean, game 3. We won game 3. So we're up 3-0. So, the good thing about a veteran team is that a veteran team is going to take care of business. So we had veterans like Mario, Clyde, Dream, we had Charles Jones on the team. So those guys have been in the league a while. So they were like, look, we can't give these young boys any type of light. So let's go ahead and take care of business and get them out of here. And that's exactly what we did. So
Chucky,
we ended up winning game 4 and sweeping Orlando.
Chucky. We had John Gabriel on, and he's the one that drafted Shaq and Penny and those guys. That was when Orlando had just started. They were just a couple years old.
Yeah, right.
He had drafted
John.
those guys. Him talking about that was pretty interesting. But I knew y'all swept them.
Yeah, we swept them. And John Gabriel, it's funny. When I was on my way to Orlando, they used to have like the Orlando Classic and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I was on my way. Yeah, I was on my way to the Orlando Classic, and I sat beside John Gabriel on the plane going down there, not knowing who he was. He talked to me the whole time, and I'm thinking like, who is this guy talking to me? You know what I'm saying? So I was glad I was nice to him because I didn't know who the heck he was. So, but it was cool to talk to him and then find out later who he was.
Hey man, let me jump in. We're keeping it on the championship level though. Got to ask you one. In our league, the ABA, Dr. J is the only player to win a ABA championship and then win an NBA championship. Well,
Right.
I do know that you're in good company. You only got two people that have ever won the CBA and then won an
Right.
NBA. How's that feel, bro?
That feels awesome, man. You know, myself and Tony Campbell. Tony
Yeah.
Campbell is the other guy. So I mean, that feels awesome. And I know Tony. So
Yeah.
it's awesome. Just what you went through to make all that happen. Because I went from playing in the CBA, getting called up to going to the NBA, and in the NBA they did things differently. Like the CBA, you got to carry your own shoes and all that type of stuff. In the NBA, you get everything carried for you. So when I got to the NBA, I'm carrying my own stuff because that's what I was used to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they would laugh at me about that, but yeah, that was just great to go through that. And if I had to do over, I wouldn't change anything that I went through in my career. Nothing.
Oh, awesome.
You know something else, Chucky? People do not realize nowadays, especially with the D League and the G team, G League, what that CBA was. When that CBA was in the height of its career, I know you know Panaggio. Panaggio's here, lives not far from me. But,
get out of here!
Yeah.
That's my guy.
Dan and his father. His father.
Okay.
Hey, his father passed away, but Dan and Mike.
Oh, he did. Oh, sorry to
They
hear
have
that.
a prep school, and a postgraduate team here in Daytona. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's awesome.
Dan.
Yeah, that's my guy, man. I mean, Panaggio. I don't mean to cut you off, but Panaggio was the second coach that I worked for. But Coach Panaggio was probably in the beginning, he didn't really know me. And a lot of times coaches don't hire guys that they don't know. So I remember him coaching. I played in the CBA. I played in Yakima and I played in Grand Rapids. So he coached in the Quad City. So we would go play them. And that's the only way that I knew him. But I worked with him at the Chicago pre-draft camp, and, just working with him and his attention to detail, a lot of his stuff. I coach high school now. So a lot of his stuff, I've taken with me, and I haven't talked to Coach Panaggio in a while, but it would be nice to see him. But no, he's a great guy. Great guy.
Yeah. Well, his father, I'm going to tell this little known tribute. His father, at one time, was the all-time winningest coach in the CBA.
Yep.
But he used to talk about beating Phil Jackson and George Karl. Said he used to beat him like he owned him.
I believe it. I believe it.
I used to go to his house and just sit and talk to him. He was phenomenal. But
yeah,
Dan's a guy too. Dan's unbelievable.
Yeah, Dan and Mike was a young kid. I think Mike might have been in high school when we were in LA. I think so. I think he was in high school when we were in LA. His oldest or his youngest son.
Hey, Chucky, one more for you, brother.
Okay.
Now, some things in life, if you got 12 different jobs happening in 8 years span, people go, what's wrong with that guy? But looking at your career, man, and you played with so many teams in your time.
Right.
And the cool part about that is, it lets us know you had to be a great player, or else so many people wouldn't be saying, well, if he ain't there no more, I want it. Get him to my team,
right.
And how did you feel back then about being in demand? You know what I mean?
It felt good, man, because some teams I played for twice. I played twice in Charlotte and I played twice in Cleveland. I played in Atlanta for Lenny Wilkins. I played in Cleveland for Lenny Wilkins. So I mean, it felt good to me. It felt, I was doing something right because, somebody always wanted me, you know what I'm saying? And some people could look at it differently. I remember kind of getting into it with, what's the kid name? Gottlieb. So this is what happened. Gottlieb, Rajon Rondo has switched a lot of teams. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, and, Rajon Rondo has a reputation of being hard to get along with. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So Gottlieb said something on Twitter or on a radio. No, it was a radio interview or something, and somebody sent it to me. Well, he said something to the effect of, Rajon Rondo gonna be on more teams than Chucky Brown. And it was some more said to where he was trying to say like I was a guy that was hard to get along with.
Wow.
And so, so I checked him on it. So somehow Gottlieb also follows me on Facebook. I didn't know that. So I said something on Facebook about it, and Gottlieb chimed in. So we got to straighten that out right there. So I let him know, like, look, don't throw my name in nothing with somebody's difficult. You know what I'm saying? Because I was always a good teammate, and I was always good in the locker room. Because my last season in Sacramento, they called me and told me I wasn't going to play, and would I be okay with that? And would I be okay with coming to practice and just trying to make guys better? I said, yeah, I'm cool with that.
Heck yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where else can you make 6 figures just, doing that, going first back, staying in 5-star hotel? Where else can you do that? You know what I'm saying? So, it was a pleasure and an honor, because I know a lot of guys couldn't do, a lot of guys dreamed about doing what I was doing. So I wasn't gonna make no big stink about, whether I stay with a team. It's a business. It's a job. All you still have camaraderie with certain guys, but it's not like college anymore where guys kind of go their separate ways. They got families now. They're grown men. So it's different. You hang out at practice and, you have the one common goal at hand, and that's to win games.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, it definitely was different, but hey, I wore it as a badge of honor.
Yeah, I don't blame you, because that's the way I look at it.
It's funny, Chucky, you said Rajon Rondo. He just got traded today.
Yeah, I heard. He wasn't in the Clippers. He wasn't in Atlanta long.
Hey, this is third team in a year, less than a year.
Right.
Oh, God. He's trying to join that elite group.
Come on, there's room.
Nobody like Chucky Brown, though. That's a man.
That's right.
Something interests me a little bit, Chucky. Well, Lenny Wilkins. What was your take on him? He was a great coach, wasn't he?
Lenny was a great XO guy. Lenny could draw up a play and get you a layup, no problem. And Lenny was the definition of a calm leader too. So Lenny never got rattled. If guys, got a little rattled or something in the huddle, Lenny could calm you down. So Lenny was the definition of a cool, calm, and collected leader. You know what I'm saying? So I think Lenny was a great coach, one of the best coaches I've ever played for. And he's one of my favorite coaches. Cool, I tell you a funny story, funny Lenny Wilkins story. So as a rookie, Lenny was always saying something to me. He was kind of riding me all the time. So I said to Lenny one day, just jokingly at practice while we were stretching, I'm like, hey, coach. I was like, yo, why you always riding me? And Lenny turned to me and said, look, he said, you need to worry if I don't talk to you. And I never said another word. I was like, well, coach, you can ride me anytime you want to.
There you
go. And that's the truth, man, because if a coach doesn't say anything to you, they don't care about you. So, he always was on me trying to make sure that I got the best out of my talent.
There you go. Hey, one more here. We got about 10 minutes. I got one more for you. Who was your all-time favorite matchup that you like to play against?
That I like to play against? Oh, man. Oh, let me think. My all-time favorite matchup. That's a great question. I think, I think one of the places that I loved to play was New York, was the Garden. I loved playing in the Garden.
Yeah.
And back then they had those Knick teams with Mason, Oakley, Ewing. Yeah. So, and New York was one of the teams that I wanted to play for, but never got the opportunity. I played in New Jersey, that was good enough. Yeah. But all-time favorite matchup, I would have to say, I love playing against Dennis Rodman. I love playing against him because with him, you had to bring it. You know what I'm saying? You had to get your rest. that night before, and you had to bring it. So I think he was one of the guys that I love to play against because he competed every night. He never talked trash. You know, he would try to get in your head, you know, with all the clapping and stuff. But, you know, Rodman, he competed, and he forced you to compete. And if you didn't compete, he was going to wear you out.
Oh, yeah.
So I would say Rodman. I say Rodman was probably one of my favorite all-time matchups that I love to play against.
That's good to hear. I like that.
Wow.
Rick, you want to throw anything else in, my brother?
Yeah, Chuck, you were talking about Rodman. I saw Rodman play when he was in college. He was at Southeast Oklahoma, and I never.
Out my way.
Yep, and they were in the NAIA finals, and I'm sitting at the scores table talking. It was like 4 NBA guys. I think Mike Dunleavy and I forgot who else, but I'm thinking, who are they looking at? And I see this long guy just running the floor, tipping and jumping and knocking, and somebody said he's looking at that guy. I said, "Good Lord, if that guy can make it in the NBA, I think I may make a comeback." I never did that. Hey, Chucky, Dennis Rodman shot 2 free throws that went straight up and came straight down, missed the rim about probably 8 inches.
Right.
And I remember thinking that. And 2 years later, he's with the Pistons on the Bad Boys. But I never.
Hey.
Yeah, he also played in the ABA. He played in our ABA, the reconstructed ABA. Yeah, that's awesome, man. But I tell you what, he wasn't paid to make them free throws, though. That's all.
No,
he was
you're
paid
right.
to rebound and play defense.
So true.
Yeah, what a great player.
Man. No,
but,
go ahead, Rick. I got a delay
I'm good.
on my
I was just thinking, man, I'm looking at this resume, all the teams Chucky played with, all the personalities and players he played with.
Right.
I tell you something I'm very curious about. Hakeem Olajuwon. I'm a consummate professional, correct?
Yeah. Dream was I tell you, man, Dream, he came early, stayed late, got his weight training in. I mean, and you know, for a guy, you know, when your leader, when your best player is your leader, that makes for, you know, a championship team, I'll say. You know what I'm saying? When your best player is your leader, and he's gonna make sure, because everybody else gonna fall in line. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, because even Dream, like even guys, you know, that, you know, strong personality like Vernon Maxwell. Vernon Maxwell, he would challenge Dream, but at the end of the day, he knew Dream was our leader. You know what I'm saying? So he would definitely challenge Dream, but he knew that Dream was the leader. So, you know, Vernon would fall in line as well.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, getting Clyde Drexler was a pretty good get too, right?
Oh yeah. Clyde's another you know, professional, you know, a leader. And, you know, those two guys together, even like when Clyde came, Clyde knew it was Dream's team, but Clyde knew, like, look, you know, we gonna do this thing the right way. You know what I'm saying? So Clyde, it was pretty much Dream's team, you know, and Clyde, you know, was 1A and 1B. You know what I'm saying? So those were the guys those were our 2 leaders that, you know, we listened to. You know what I'm saying? If Clyde said something, shoot, you know, it was all that attention. You know, and Clyde is not a big talker. You know, Clyde wasn't a big talker. You know, Dream would get on you. You know what I'm saying? Clyde wouldn't do it. Clyde was more of the, if he threw you a pass and you lost it, Clyde would say, all right, that's all right. We get the next one. We got the next one. You know, Dream might tell you, like, hey, man, you got to catch that. You know what I'm saying? So it was two, they kind of balanced each other out. You know what I mean? But they, you know, both great leaders and, you know, fun guys to play for. And, you know, I haven't seen Dream in a while. I've seen Clyde within the past year, and we talked and had some good laughs because he does the 3v3 stuff. So, you know, I got to see him when they came to Charlotte.
Man, that's great. Well, hey, look, we're about to wrap
Who
this
did you
thing
play
up
for in
here,
Charlotte, Chucky?
My coach in Charlotte, when I first got there, was Dave Cowens. Then Dave Cowens got let go, and then it was Paul Silas.
Okay.
Cool. Hey man, look, we're about to wrap it up here, you know, but definitely want to thank you for being on. And wow, almost every show it looks like I gotta get one more seat on this daggum plane to bring people over to Australia. But
All right.
I'm sitting with Chucky.
Yeah, you're gonna be jumping all over the plane. You told about 8 guests.
Chucky's my guy. I'm sitting with Chucky, man. You know that's a done deal.
Hey, listen, one of my places on my bucket list to visit is Australia. So anytime, you want me to come over there, let's do it.
Well, we're trying to put together for grassroots basketball. Keep it short because we're gonna run out of time. But we're putting together for the ABA small kind of like draft program because over here in Australia. Guys pay to play. So what we were going to do is try to get 3 or 4 players to come through our draft, and no matter what team they go to, the league itself would pay for those players to be on that team for a season. So, so what I'm trying to do is bring in a top player out here to run a coaches camp and a kids camp, and then put the draft in it. Because imagine what it'll mean to a grassroots player to, find out he's going to be going to a team, he got first round pick, and then he gets to meet you guys, one of you guys, and have a photo with you and start his career off, So we try to make a change for young people out here, so it should be
that'd
good.
be awesome, man. That'd be awesome, man.
Yeah, so
I definitely would love to.
Okay,
that sounds good, man. That sounds good, man.
All right, man. Rick, you got anything you want to throw in real quick, man? We got about 2 minutes here. We're gonna close it down.
No, I just want to thank Chucky again because I'm so impressed with him and having him on his shows. It's been awesome. We had Artist Gilmore on week before last, Chucky. Remember Artist Gilmore?
Okay.
Yeah.
Then we get you, and it's been definitely a treat.
Yeah, Chucky, remember what I told you when we was off the air, man? Like, I just feel blessed, bro. That's
well, thank you, man. I appreciate you guys having me and taking the time, man. That means something to me, man.
All right, man. Well, we appreciate it. Hey, we want to thank everybody for tuning in. Remember, you can catch us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Google Podcasts, we're everywhere. So once again, Chucky, thank you. Rick, thanks for keep coming back, brother. Appreciate it. And that's going to do it from ABA 101. Everyone take care, man. You guys have a good weekend.
All right. Thank you, man. All right. Take care.
All right, Chucky.
Thank you. Bye-bye. All right. Bye-bye.
The American Basketball Association is the largest pro league in the world. Some great opportunities for team ownership are available, and the cost may surprise you. If you've ever thought about team ownership in a pro league, give us the opportunity to help make it a reality. Reach out to us for more info. For USA teams at www.abaliveaction.com. In Australia, go to www.abaleagueaustralia.com.
Come explore the No Strings Attached e-News online magazine. Our global array of authors inspire, delight, and educate with practical and entertaining articles. And with Focus On, we help producers of film, web series, and other video content attract a wider audience. Plus, your project can stream on Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, and more with our media partners E360 TV and NETV. No Strings Attached e-News, focusing on human interest. Advertising available, nsaen.com.
Well, that's going to do it for this week. Remember, you can keep up with every episode by subscribing via our website. Follow us on social media and tell your friends about us. Next week, new guests, more basketball tips, more basketball stories about the game we all love. Till then, be safe and keep your eyes on the ball.